Men who live alone and then had a woman move into your place. What are some examples of a woman's touch that she added? 1. I have these things called throw pillows now, but apparently I am not allowed to throw them. 2. The decorative hair strands stuck onto all of my walls. 3. She replaced my cardboard box with an end table. Unnecessarily. 4. I couldn't keep my motorcycle in the living room or my tools and parts in the kitchen cabinets anymore. 5. The bathroom counter is just fucked now. 6. Apparently I am supposed to have pictures of my loved ones in my house. Who knew? 7. You go through a whole lot more toilet paper. 8. Plants. I went from 0 to 6 in a single corner of my house. 9. Tiny ankle socks everywhere. We broke up 7 years ago and I still occasionally find one in some forgotten corner of the house. 10. The million shampoo bottles and all the seasonings. 11. We now have, without exaggeration, 15 end tables in the house. 4 more in the attic just in case. 12. She always gets vanilla candles and now this house always smells like a bakery and goddamn it I love it. 13. She put all my stuff away where I could never find it and created a tremendous codependency because now I had to ask her where all my stuff was. Then she gave me an attitude for always asking where my stuff was. Then she would say stuff like, where it always is, but I didn't create these storage spots so I never knew where that was. Help me. 14. She stopped me from almost burning down my apartment when she pulled an entire stuffed animal worth of lint out of my dryer. I didn't know that was a thing. 15. Lotions. For different seasons. She has a method to which ones she uses when. And they're not cheap either. 16. Lots of plushies moved in with her. Some of them now sleep on the bed. 17. A little version of me running around, although that was halfway my fault too. 18. She changed the sheets. Like, what is this? Buckingham Palace? 19. Different sizes of teacups. I used to just make tea in a ceramic 1-liter beer stein. 20. Constant mess. Clothes and hair everywhere. 21. My wife and I didn't live together until we got married and rented a house together. When we moved in, everything I owned fit inside my rusty Datsun hatchback. My wife's contribution to the household required an entire moving truck. 22. She buys a lot stuff for her many hobbies that only last a week. 23. Fucking shoes. So goddamn many shoes that don't get worn, don't get donated but do get premium parking spaces in my closet. 24. Pillows. Lots and lots of pillows. Many of them I wasn't allowed to actually use as a pillow when napping. 25. So many blankets everywhere. 26. Reading at these I'm gobsmacked at how some guys apparently live. What are some guy secrets girls don't know about? 1. I had a girl tell me my haircut looked nice. I've kept that same haircut for 4 years since then. 2. Dudes can be friends for years and not know each other's real name. 3. Sometimes we use our pee streams to try and clean the poop off of toilet bowls. 4. We have an entire language around the head nod. 5. We never know when you like us. I'm 48 and looking back I messed up so much. 6. If you have a son don't rush into his room and demand that he get up immediately to go do something. He definitely has a happy morning friend and would appreciate not needing to hide it from his mom. Just give him like 5 minutes. 7. If it looks like I'm ignoring you, I'm probably just so deep in thought that I forgot I actually exist. 8. We really have no control over what we do in your dreams. 9. The wide step. 10. We fear we are loved for our value and not for who we are. 11. When you explain or rant, my brain is telling me how to fix it, and yes, I'm listening, but this is how you fix that problem. 12. There are complex unspoken rules about urinal selection in public bathrooms. 13. Please, for the love of God, let us know if you're into us. Don't wait for us to tell you first because we won't, because we don't want to be called creeps. 14. In emergency situations, our trouser snakes can be used as an antenna for radio signals. 15. We don't get the hint. Saying I almost fell in the driveway is not the same as asking us to shovel it. In my mind I'm thinking, thanks for the heads up, I'll be careful. 16. I'm not staring at you. I'm zoned out thinking about how I'd start a brewery in medieval England whilst my eyes just happen to be facing your direction. 17. Guys also like to be walked up to and asked out. 18. We desperately want you to toss us things instead of just handing them to us. 19. Shrinkage. 20. The desire to touch the top of the door frame is a primal one. I can't understand it, I just do it. 21. The pee shivers. 22. Our aim isn't bad, it's just sometimes a weird spray. 23. I've been on the toilet for 30 minutes but I am actually pooping. 24. Sometimes we like to be the little spoon. 25. The good old pinch and roll technique. 26. How often we fantasize about saving the day from attackers or something. 27. Nice try, honey. I still won't tell you where I keep my snacks. Which legendary Reddit post or comment can you still not get over? 1. The guy who thought his landlord was stalking him and leaving notes in his apartment, only to find out that he was actually suffering from carbon monoxide poisoning. 2. Some guy says that wearing socks in the shower feels great. 3. The dude who had a girlfriend that struggled to quit smoking, so he decided to take up smoking for a month just so he could show her how easy it is to quit if you are totally dedicated to quitting. He still smokes 10 years later, she quit a long time ago. 4. There was a post about how a guy closed an elevator door on a dad and son who were trying to make it. The guy thought he was pressing the open button, so he smiled at them the entire time it closed on them. 5. There was a post a month or so ago about a girl whose boyfriend kept telling her she smells bad no matter how undeniably good she smelled. Finally he admitted that he was just telling her she smelled bad to keep her self-esteem low enough she wouldn't leave him. Then she immediately dumped him. 6. A recent one, but that 40-something-year-old guy who bought like 5 Peloton bikes to give to the family of his 21-year-old Eastern European wife because they told him it was tradition in their country. 7. This one guy was on the toilet, and he sneezed while he was taking a shit. That same moment the power in his house went out. He proceeded to cry because he thought he shit himself blind. Parents of Reddit. What are your kids currently attempting to hide from you? 1. A few years ago I was going through my son's backpack, 3rd grade, and found a can of ravioli. That's all well, except I never bought any ravioli. When I asked him about it, he burst into tears and pulled out a box under his bed filled with ravioli. He then proceeded to tell me how this girl that picks on him and says they are married gives him ravioli every day and makes him take it. I can just picture this girl's mother telling her the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. 2. My 2-year-old attempts to hide the family dog, who is 75 pounds, in various places in his room so that the dog can sleep in there with him. So far, I found the dog in the closet, behind the curtains, surrounded by stuffed animals to blend in, and on numerous occasions I've walked in the room to see a giant mound under the comforter at the foot of the bed. My son is astonished every single time that I have not only found the dog, but was even looking for him in the first place. On more than one occasion he even attempted to persuade me that he didn't even know we had a dog. 3. My 6-year-old got out of bed early on Sunday morning to sneak downstairs and steal Monopoly money from the bank in the unfinished game from the night before, which was left out on the table. 4. My kid would get up in the middle of the night and want a snack. He would sneak into the kitchen and eat a whole tomato except the little circle where it connected to the stem. He hid the little stem circles under whatever was on top of the trash and would go to sleep. We always made sure there were tomatoes for him. 5. My daughter, who's 9, thinks she's being crafty, hiding a book under her pillow to read after bedtime. I've known for about a year and let her have half an hour secret reading time after she goes to bed. It's a bit harder to know if she's not reading after half an hour now it's summer and she doesn't need to use a lamp. But I can tell if she's turned her lamp off in winter. 6. Everybody's kids here are hiding books to read secretly. Mine's hiding in his bedroom trying to use a glue stick like lip balm. 7. My 2-year-old has started telling me crazy stories as if they are real. He recently told me that our dog rides a motorcycle to go play with her friends. 8. Himself. It's nearly bedtime. The 2-year-old thinks I'll forget to put him to bed if he runs into another room for 30 seconds. 9. I've got a 12-year-old son and I definitely know his Reddit account cause the little turd used my email to sign up. Must not have thought that one through. I'm too scared to look at it though.
What did your child's school do that made you say you can't be serious? My daughter's 6th grade teacher sent a note home, explaining that my daughter was a compulsive liar who expected people to believe she was Korean when she was obviously not. In class, the teacher was discussing where the kids were born. When my daughter said she was born in South Korea, her teacher accused her of lying. My daughter got upset and insisted she wasn't a liar, explaining that her mom was in the army and she was indeed born in South Korea. The teacher told her to sit down and shut up, saying everyone could tell she wasn't Korean. The next day, I went into the school office and asked to speak to the teacher. The principal, upon seeing the note, decided to sit in on the conversation. The teacher said she was glad I came in and hoped that after this my daughter would learn not to lie. She explained the classroom discussion and stuck to her guns that my daughter was obviously not Korean and therefore a liar. After 30 minutes, we established that my daughter did not claim to be Korean, only that she had been born there. While the principal looked on slack-jawed, I explained that her father and I were both soldiers in the U.S. Army stationed in Korea when she was born, and that where you were born does not change the color of your skin. As I was leaving, the last thing I heard was the principal incredulously asking her, "You seriously didn't know Americans could be born overseas?"